Hi, everybody. Welcome. Usual tech problems here, but that's one thing we're still hoping to solve. Um, in fact, my latest book is coming out in a couple of weeks, and tech issues is one of the issues that I deal with in that book. So it's called You're on Mute. So that sort of explains what's happening here. But I'm in Workuity, which is headquarters for World's Best Connectors. We've been here since it opened. So we've been here probably 6 years or so. And so on 2390 East Camelback Road in Phoenix, Arizona. So welcome all those are getting in. Some people gotten in, some people said their link didn't work. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. We're recording it, so we'll be able to get it out to everyone who wasn't able to get online. And we apologize for the tech problems. Workuity is in the same dead zone that my personal house is, but they usually are able to overcome their issues here with Wi-Fi, but not doesn't seem to be today. So we'll get started with that. Welcome, everyone. This is today, it's geared at coaches. And we're going to be having a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of opportunities, or private Facebook page, et cetera, for people to get together and talk about the state of amateur athletics, more or less. But essentially, World's Best Connectors, as most of you know, World's Best Connectors has been around since 2019, and it's a group of CEOs, and we take on various projects. So we have some that are not related to sports, believe it or not. But I know some people find that hard to believe. But we do have real estate people in our group, HR people in our group, people who have a variety of skills available. One thing that everybody seemed to be interested in, though, is the state of sports and athletics today. Things started to change. Well, and all of these problems, none of these problems are new, but um, things sort of escalated. And during COVID, when it became the NCAA changed its rules, as people know, it said that the athletes should get paid, which they should have been all along. But there were no policies or really regulations that came out. So since that time, it's pretty much been um, almost a zoo trying to sort out what is happening where, when, and by whom. And now NCAA is coming out with regulations and rules as we go along. So, for example, now schools have to pay athletes, universities. So they're fumbling around, and we'll see each one may be different, which is going to be an issue. The problem that we had already with NIL is that each state was different. So you add the university layer to that, it'll be interesting to see what has happened. But World's Best Connectors hopes to be able to help coaches, parents, and students out with that by having a set of classes. The first set of classes that we're going to have is called Wish I Had Known, and that's aimed at parents. It can be for parents of any age, students in any sport, in any school. It's pretty open. And why it's that open is gymnastics, they start at 4 years old. Um, Little League starts at 5 years old. So, and then you go all the way up to G League, and you have people 22 years old still hoping to get that call to the NBA. So it's quite a broad stroke there. But it's going to be pretty exciting because there hasn't been much geared towards parents in the past. In fact, so there's a lot of avoidance of parents in the past. Some unscrupulous stuff and trying to separate parents from the kids as far as decision making. So we're not going to get into all of that. We're not going to get into politics of it or anything like that. We're just interested in the student athletes and their parents. So we're going to start with the parents, and it's divided into 4 sections. I recommend people go to our website, www.wishihadknown.net. So it's wishihadknown.net. And you'll see it's going to be pretty extensive training that we'll be able to provide to parents. But we cover financing, we cover health issues, mental, physical, emotional health issues. We're going to talk about how to set up a family business. But the whole goal of Wish I Had Known is to strengthen the family unit and be sure that the students and the families have an enjoyable experience with sports. Sports should be fun. Sports should be exciting. Um, but in a lot of cases, it's become onerous. It's become uh, dividing families. Um, People are graduating with no particular education, even though they're given a degree. And the result of all that is you have these as people, and I won't even go into the statistics today. Most people know of the huge huge bankruptcies of professional athletes. If you make it to professional athletes, only 2% of NCAA athletes make it to professional athletes status. So, and in NFL, the majority of them go broke within 3 years. And the average career right now in the NFL is less than 4 years. So it's pretty grim out there. What we're trying to do is launch 1,000 new businesses using athletes and their parents. But, and it's sounds like a big goal, but it's not. We're talking nationwide. But if you think about the ripple effect of 1,000 new businesses, it can be pretty great. Students can go back to their neighborhood and hire their friends instead of sitting on the porch vaping. So we have some high hopes here that we're looking forward to. And you as coaches can be able to help us out with all that. So I'm very happy here today to have, we have some coaches in the room with me, and we have coaches online, obviously. And um, towards the end, I will be asking them to say a few words, or we're going to open it up for questions that you may have. But with that, one thing I want to go through and wish I had known is to talk a little bit about the information that's going to go out with Wish I Had Known. It's going to be a 6-part online course. The first couple will be courses will be goal setting. Parents and kids aren't always on the same track. And what parents sometimes don't understand is the kids' tracks change. Okay, they could have been really hot on NBA when they were in junior high school, and then high school they decided something else. Okay, and I have many personal stories about that where the parents thought they were headed one direction, and the kids they just changed. They grew up. They changed their mind. What we're trying to do is prepare parents for that, make sure everybody's on the same wavelength, and at the end, hopefully, be able to still enjoy sports. Um, I, for those who want to go pro, I say what we're going to do is help them uh, with that, as far as training and publicity. We have going to have a pretty strong PR system. We're going to have a 24/7 television network devoted to college sports. We have some great national and international capabilities to help students that are going to get NIL. For those who aren't going to get NIL, we'll have probably be even a bigger help, because we'll help them identify businesses that they may go into or want to go into. Because our goal at the end of our program with the students is that they have their own LLC. So we're preparing the parents ahead of time for that. The student may decide they want to have an art gallery. I'll help them get an art gallery, okay? Maybe a little different than what the parents had in mind, but our goal is to make sure that, to me, students graduate with something besides their picture in the yearbook when they leave college. So with that, we'll have that. Financing is probably the main reason that a lot of parents will show up and join Wish I Had Known, which we talk about taxes has been a big problem, as most of you know. And it's sort of scary, but anyway, they weren't prepared. If you get that big check, guess what? You're going to be paying taxes on it. how the universities pay students, it's going to be interesting to see. They can, because it's sort of free reign, they can do it any way they want to do it. So is it going to be, are they going to be paid as employees? Certain taxes, they're going to be paid as scholarship. There are a lot of different ways they can go. And we will help parents do that because we will have some experts to be able to help them keep up with that. We can hardly keep up with it. So try to get them to keep up with it as well. I talked about health issues. And as I mentioned, as we know, thanks to Simone and some other people, they're finally talking about health. That's been sort of a no-no kind of issue, project, or I don't know what you want to call it, hidden part of sports. Tennis has a serious problem. Gymnastics has a serious problem. And probably all of them have a problem, but some of them are more hidden than others. Individual sports, as you can imagine, the problem is pretty serious. That's where you get the tennis players and the gymnastics people, where all the pressure is on them as an individual. Not a team, it's them. So we'll have experts come and talk about that. Health issues, a lot of new health issues coming up. Baseball, now it's a given that you have Tommy John surgery. That used to be like a really rare thing that might pop up. Now it's like a given. You almost have to time in your career when it's going to pop up and how it will impact you in your career. But there are a lot of other health issues, drug use, steroids. Steroids is an old one, probably still hanging around, that we'll talk about. We're going to have some naturalists too, people who provide some alternative ways of dealing with issues will be available too. And then finally at the end, we will have sort of family issues. What happens when child gets all the attention, the others don't? Can you start a family business? How do you keep everybody involved? How do you keep everybody on track? So that's the overall thing. But I'm very excited today because we have one of the people that we're having an agreement with. As I mentioned, we have all kinds of people and all kinds of talent. But we also have some newer people coming in that are providing different products and resources than we've had in the past. And in this case, it's because it's a new field. Everybody's heard of AI. AI itself is not a new field, but suddenly, I don't know what happened, I guess COVID, suddenly it became an everything field. People are worried about careers, and I am going to be talking about that in my book as well, coming out, the AI era and what that means to people over 40 seem to be impacted the most by that. But we're very sort of blessed to have Charles with us this morning, Charles Norman, and he's in LA. And I mentioned, not wish I had known, but also WBC is actually international. We've had problems getting our people internationally on because of the Wi-Fi issue today, but they'll be getting, obviously, this copy of this tape. But Charles is right here in LA, not too far away, and he's developed a new system, and I'll let him explain it. But it's going to come pretty early in the training that we have in Wish I Had Known. So all the parents that are in Wish I Had Known will get a copy of this system. But we're also going to have it available, and this is why we're mentioning it today to coaches. We're going to have it available to anybody to buy as an off-the-shelf type of product. And I won't steal any of his thunder. We'll give Charles a few minutes to talk about his project, and hopefully we'll see, he can share his screen and people can see it, hopefully.
Charles? Yeah, absolutely. Let me try to give it a try here. First of all, good morning to everyone. I'm going to try to go through this quickly so I don't take up time from everybody. You hear background noise here. I've got family that came in town a little early here for Thanksgiving, so I'm going to do my best not to let them try it. So what I'm about to show you is a application called Athletic SOS. It's something I created back in 2018, to be perfectly honest with you, and it's grown since then. I'm going to walk you through it. I came to this as a parent. I spent 30 plus years working in the city of LA, left there as a senior systems analyst. My job was enterprise level applications, and the people that on my team still work for government in general, but we came to do this. None of us are ex college or professional athletes, so we came this purely from a parent side because of what I went through trying to get my daughter a athletic scholarship. We were successful, but I was lucky enough that her high school coach walked me through getting us there. So that help was a big deal. And I took what we did and what he taught me, and I created this. This is something I know how to do. So what you're looking at, this is a full enterprise, so it's not an app you put on your phone, and I'll talk more about how you get on it. But I want to get this all done. I'm going to try to do this within 10 minutes, as Denise has instructed me to try to pull off. And then we can always do a longer version later. So put your parent hat on first. I know you guys are coaches, but put your parent hat on. And so your parent you will give them a code which will allow them to come in and use the system because you're a part of Denise's organization. And so once they do that, they will set their own child up. You don't do it for them. And so once they have registered, they will be on what's called the parent portal. You can see that here. And all of their athletes, if they only have one child, you would just see the child's name here. But if they had multiple children, you'd see they can have up to 3 kids in here. And then we can always extend that. But right now, the limit is 3. And so I'm going to choose a male athlete just to get through this as quickly as possible. And you can see here is the welcome screen. It has the parent's name up here. Things like that. I'm going to pick this young man, which is my same name. And then the parent will have put all of these details in about their kids. So they are in control of this. They can change it at any time. The kid's going to get bigger, faster, stronger. Their GPA might change. Their NCAA, NAIA IDs are in here. Any photo that they want to add in can be put in here. And then these are their SAT and ACT test scores. Everything over here on the right-hand side is up to them. The social media, originally we said do not put any social media in. Now it's a must. Any videos, files, we put files and videos because you could have done an interview. You may have an article that you wrote. You may have a highlight video. You may have, you could have a full game video, whatever you want to do. All the sports that you participate in and any notes that a coach might want to put in for you. And then this is your upcoming events. You can see there's a Thanksgiving All-Star game for this kid. And for Christmas, there's going to be a holiday basketball tournament. But here's the heart and soul of our software. I know I'm going fast, but I want to get as much in as possible. There's a lot here. So they're going to come in, and we're trying to find a school that matches this child. So they're going to click on Add Schools, and we start with their academic information. So I gave this kid a 3.6 GPA, and then these are their ACT and SAT scores. They don't have to take both tests, but we encourage it. But I like to show this because what we're showing here is that this 3.6 GPA and these ACT scores across the board do not match up on a college. So the admission office will see this immediately, and this is how you go into the round file really quick, that this doesn't match up, something's wrong. And we can tell you down here that it should be at least a 24 across the board here with this GPA. And I use the 3.6 GPA on purpose because we all know if it's 3.5 and above, they could give, in the old days, it was, we'll give you academic money and athletic money, and it made you more attractive to that school. Now, for NCAA Division One, that's kind of gone out the way. We understand that. But NCAA Division Two, Division Three, I know they don't give athletic scholarships, but it's still, they can give you more money once you're above that 3.5. 3.5 and above is really good. And then for, we have junior colleges too. So I'll show you all of that. They can go and change these scores if they want to go back and take the test that they want. If you go to next, we have every single sport. There's an opportunity to get an athletic scholarship. We start with archery, and we've got like esports in here. We go all the way down to wrestling. And so I'm going to pick basketball because it gives me a lot of schools. Most schools have a basketball program. Then they can select by region, and I show you the states that are included in each region, or they can do individual states. Maybe they have family somewhere, they just happen to want to go a certain state, or they want to stay close to home. I'm going to pick the Midwest because no one ever does when I'm doing these, or I've seen these. And then we have every single level that you can participate at the collegiate level. So NCAA's Division 1, 2, and 3, like I mentioned earlier, the NAIA, which most parents don't even know exists. And then even junior colleges that offer some sort of scholarship, some sort of help, room, board, books, whatever's going on there. I'm going to pick a Division 2. And then we're just going to hit search. So I know it's a male. I know he plays basketball. I know he's looking in the Midwest. I have his academic information. And so this screen returned pretty quickly here, as you can see. And there's 62 entries. Now, these entries are only schools that this child academically qualifies to attend. So that doesn't mean it's all the schools that have this at the D2 level in this area. It's just this kid can get into these schools. And so it's in alphabetical order here. The states can be sorted on. The schools can be reversed. Uh, I have this in here with NCAA Division II with football. I have some without, so you can tell this would be a smaller school. That's what kids are looking for. And then here's where we set ourselves apart again. This is the decision assist list. If you see blue here, which you don't see, it means you're in the top 25 percentile of the kids that were accepted to that school the previous year. We're always 1 year behind because we have to get the data. If you see green, you're in that middle, the 50 to 75 percentile. Yellow, you're in the bottom 25 percentile. And if you see this white or clear, it means that this school does not use the SAT and ACT as a criteria for acceptance. This was growing really big, and we see a reverse trend starting this year with this white clear area. I'm going to go to the next page just to see if I can catch some blues. Yeah, there you go. And so I would be looking at blues if I'm a family because I know academically I'm in really good shape here. I'm at least in the top 25 percentile, and I may have a better chance of getting in, especially at the D2 level because the rules are still the old rules for them. And then all I have to do at this point is click on details, and I can find out more about the school, right? Well, the tuition, in-state, out-of-state, is it public or private school, what the application fee is. And usually if it's over $30,000 a year, this is a zero or very low amount. If it's under, they charge more for putting the application in. But as a parent, I know my kid has a great chance of being in this school. I might put an application in here just on GP, just because I can, just to see what happens. And then depending on what your score was, if it was green or yellow, what score did I need to move up to blue? Maybe I go take this ACT, or maybe I go and take the SAT again. And I know which area I probably need to work a little bit harder on. Coach contact information, one of the most difficult things to do, but we do a pretty good job. Like I said, we come from a government background, so these are all government databases for the most part. Here's a link to the school. I don't know anything else about the school. They're rural, they're urban, suburban. What kind of environment is it? What kind of my major that I'm thinking of going to? Do they even offer it? These are the kind of things that we want the kid, the families to start working on themselves. This is the athletic homepage. How robust is that? This became very important as we went through the years. You want to go to a school that's really investing in their athletes, and you can see it on their main athletic page. And then this would take you to the men's basketball page. I'm not going to click on any of these to try to keep things moving forward. And then if they like the school, they click add. If they don't like it, they click close, and they just move on. I'm going to go ahead and click add on this one for this demo, and then I close it out. Now, we all know if you're a travel club program, if you're a high school, anything like that, you're an organization, most of the kids, they play high school sports, but they don't qualify to play at the next level. We still want to work with those kids too. So what their families can do is, if we add this feature, which will be for this organization, obviously, they can click this button, academic only. And so what you see now is I took that sports component out of it. Now, let's say I want to stay on the West Coast. This is where I am. I want to stay on the West Coast. So that now I can hit search. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a list of 2-year schools. I'm going to give them a list of 4-year schools, and I'm going to give them federally accredited trade schools. And so what we've done now, I put this in for high schools for the most part. So now everybody on the campus, maybe you have some frost soft that never made varsity. You have kids on varsity that never got a chance to play. They can still use this and plan for their future post high school. We usually only give this out when the organization has someone on staff that can work with kids that are just trying to move on to whatever they're going to do next and give them some guidance and help them work through this. So you can see now that there's 1,063 entries. Again, I want to iterate that your academic, your test scores, your GPA are the criteria for what you're going to be able to see in these lists. So that is kind of the parent side. They're doing this on their own. They don't need any help. And one of the things I was really good at when I worked for the city was I give the users everything that they need. So under resources here, these are the links to the Eligibility Center for U.S. Parents, families. This is for the international group. And then this is links to the SAT and ACT website. No excuses. The counselor didn't tell me. I didn't know the test was coming up. All of that stuff goes away. And then everything I just showed you, I do videos. I used to do this at the city. I think I was the first one to do this. I do it. I want to see the mouse go across the screen. So everything we just talked about and I showed you that quickly, it's right here. And then I just want to briefly show you guys that this is the family side. So the other side is how do you work with your own kids? And this is how it happens. There's a second side, we call it the coaches portal. And over here, you can see every single kid that used your code. So in this case, these are the same two kids. And you can see that they've got an athletic school and an academic school. And I can click here and I can see what's going on real quick. And if I was just a counselor at a high school or for a nonprofit, and I said, hey, Charles is looking at this as just an academic only school, I can call them in and we can work with them on their essay. I can run some other software just to make sure that they're as clean as Athletic SOS said. But if I'm the basketball coach, I can come in here real quick. I've got contact to this college coach, and now I can make that phone call because I know this kid on my program can play at the D2 level, and I can say, hey, Coach Cross, I've got this family. They're really interested. Academically, this kid qualifies to come to your school, and they can play at the D2 level. Let me send you their profile, and just that quickly, you can send that profile out from within the system. I'm not going to get too far into that because I don't want to overrun this. And then finally, one of the other pieces of this, what is that? I could show you what the profile looked for, but we'll get lost in this. So I'm going to keep moving forward. And then I have this little thing. So we wanted to start from the beginning because what we found was a lot of kids are playing high school sports, but they're playing the wrong sport. So we have this activity page that we have in here. I wanted to show you guys three things that I'm really focused on out here in my area in Chino Hills, California. We have a Just the Basics program we're starting to run. This is a kid, they're first starting, they're 5 years old. They're going to try out for soccer, baseball, basketball, football, archery, whatever they're going to try out. They don't know what they're doing. The parent doesn't know. And then the other kids already know. They got an older sibling, the parent played pretty high level. So they're ahead of them. So we want to put a program together where the kids can come out, learn how to dribble the ball, hold the ball, what out of bounds line is, what a free throw, all that stuff. So they walk out there their first day feeling confident. Second is sports discovery. We found a lot of kids are playing the wrong sport. They start off really good, but they never want to have the height, the size, the weight, whatever you needed to play at the collegiate level, let alone even make varsity in high school. They're great athletes, but they should have spread out a little bit, but they don't know about these other sports. And then the unsigned senior event, we're trying to work on that too. So I think I went through that about as quickly as you could possibly go. And so I'm going to stop there. So if there's any questions or anything, I'm more than willing to answer. Oh, did I lose everyone?
No, I'm here. I actually have a question. How much is it to, because you say if you work for like a nonprofit or different different entities, different people have access to this to do this for student athletes. How, how much is this service just in general, like for someone to have to like send athletes to various schools, like to help them out?
Yeah, so right now we're going to be working through Nice's organization. So it's going to be part of
Mm-hmm.
that, whatever packages they're putting together. So they'll price it. We have an agreement with them to make this available. We're still trying to see which features make the most sense for you. There's some organizations that just work with high level
Mm-hmm.
athletes that are going to go and play at the collegiate level. There's some
Mm-hmm.
that have club programs, and it's going to be a mixture, right? And we want to get the high schools. This is perfect for them because
Right.
they don't have to be the ones in charge. And then we have the people that want to work with the kids from both that coach's side and let the families do what they need to do and they come together. Some people don't want to be responsible for all that, or they don't have the people on staff. So we're going to give everything, and I'm going to customize it where you are. But your question is, Denise and her organization are going to set up it, but it will be available. We're just trying to show you something else that's going to be available for you guys if you join with this org.
Okay. No, I guess what I was asking, because I know, like, I know, correct me if I'm wrong, I think, because each membership that the people would get, it would be like each family gets to use it like twice or something, right? Or like
No,
per
once
kid
you're
or something, or like per kid
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
so the way it's set up is if you can have up to three kids. Now we can adjust.
Right, that's it,
It's
yeah.
my software. Yeah, I could. So for this organization, I can
Hmm.
say, okay, give them five kids. If you got five kids, you got problems anyway. But
Oh, I see
I
what
can
you're
adjust
saying.
it, and that's
You
the
can
good
set
thing
it up
about
per
this.
program.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah.
can adjust it for each program. So this is enterprise. So and it's mine. So we'll figure out the best way to make people get what they need. My
Okay,
whole
that's what's
goal is
up.
to get these families talking, these kids thinking for themselves as they
Hmm.
start to walk in. And the most interesting part about this software is you watch kids, the light come on. What do I want to do? Who am I? What kind of environment do I want to
Exactly.
be? It changes everything, and I see it because it's in their hand. They got it on their
Hmm.
phone. It's responsive design. Doesn't matter if you're on a laptop or your desktop or your phone. It's so it's well done. But I don't do the work for you. You got to go put in the effort. But we're going to help you, and that's the way it is. And I'm a systems guy. So you guys are the coaches. You guys are going to have to set your program up, and it's your effort that's going to make the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. That was a
Oh,
great
cool.
question because I think that's everybody's question. So essentially, if you're in which I had known program, if you're in a NILO program, the kids in the NILO program next year, you'll get a copy, okay, of it. And as you mentioned, it's good for up to 3 kids for the parents. But we are also going to, it's right off the shelf, by like you're ordering Adobe or anything else like that. It's also going to be available like that. And Charles is pretty spectacular. His demo, sorry, I have to cut it short for him today, but you know, he'll be available, and some of my other folks will be available to speak at your conferences, at your schools, or whatever. Going to be at several trade shows, which people can buy it then. You'll be able to order it online, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what's going to happen here. So I want to wrap it up before anything else goes wrong text-wise here. And what I want to say is several things. One, check out the website, wishihadknown.net. That'll talk to you a little bit about the overall program. Sign up for our Facebook page, and that's going to be what I'm going to do when I send out this, a copy of this, access to a copy of this recording. I'll also send out information on these things. But Facebook page, there's a Facebook page, Wish I Had Known Sports Parents. So there's a Facebook page that, so you can go to that. That's open every day. We talked about this, and I probably have to get on there with some disgruntled people who can get through to Wi-Fi here in this building. But I'll be making this video available to people that they can just download it and watch it there. But on that Facebook page, we'll have announcements of events like this that we're having, trade shows, when the program is starting. Hopefully it'll be starting in January, the Wish I'd Known part, but we may have some events ahead of time. We're going to be at all the major events. The World's Best Connectors is going to be at major events next year. Things like Super Bowl, NCAA Final Four, World Cup, et cetera, et cetera. So we will feature this and other aspects of what we're doing there. For the coaches, this is going to help you too. You can get this, use this as part of your appeal to students, or to use with your own students and get better satisfaction out of students and their parents, or recommend it to parents and students, and or probably have a commission set up so that you can get, you know, benefit by it that way as well. So, but I think what he's doing is just, it's super exciting. We have some other programs also involved that we have agreements with people that they want to feature here. But this one I like because it's the starting, it's the starting place for parents. It's the starting place for coaches. And to me, it's real exciting. And as much as I bitch about tech, I'm pretty excited when A1 comes through. A1 is, and what I joke about that, I shouldn't joke about that, but they had it went viral. One of administration people, I think she was education, came on and gave the speech, official speech, and she kept saying A1. And then like, because she was reading it from the prompter, right? So it's pretty sad if you're like big in education and you don't know that it's A. So I use it as a joke, but I need to stop using it as a joke. So it's AI. But I always think about that coming on, and it's pretty, I don't know, I didn't hear from her again, so I don't imagine that. So anyway, we'll do that. But anyway, it's great. As you see, we have a lot of fun in the WVC as well. The WVC website is www.thewbcs.com. We have a membership drive going right now through Sunday, if you want to join WBC, and we do have fun along the way, but we have a lot of programs. And like I said, we have a lot of variety of programs. This one is the most exciting. So we have people coming on board to help out with this. We need mentors. We sent out a lot of work on speakers. And when I send out this video, we'll have links where you can sign up if you're interested in being a speaker, sign up if you're interested in parents. And this is where the coaches can help out as well. You're directly involved with parents. So you can recommend our program to your parents, okay? And I think it gives you a sort of vaulted standing, so to speak. And it also obviously helps us. And just think, if you had parents all educated and happy, what would you guys do? That would be one less challenge that you have, right? And we'll also be working with universities. Some of you are working with universities and schools. But the same thing, if schools sort of know what's going on and how to do, or guidance counselors understand how they can be more effective, great. It'll help your standing as well as our standing and what we're trying to do. 1,000 new businesses, that's what we're trying to do here. But most importantly is that the kids have an enjoyable experience in sports. And I've been doing this a long time. I've had youth sports organizations since 2004. So I've been doing it a while. But it's very, to me, important now, more so than ever, because there's a lot of confusion. And coaches are the key. You're the link. You're the glue, holding it all together. So I really appreciate everything that you do. We want to help you. And let's see if we can work together. Again, thanks, everyone. And we'll be in touch. Again, you can also email us, worldsbestconnectors@gmail.com or info@wishihadknown.net. So either of those, you have questions, comments, whatever, please get a hold of us. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
All right, thanks, you too. Take care. Good
Okay.
meeting y'all. And Matt, great I was gonna say great product, Charles. That was pretty awesome. So but thanks, Anisha. Have a great day. Take
Okay.
care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.